Hey everybody, welcome to Squad Pod Sports, where we bring you our latest thoughts on the latest games and news around the sports world. Brought to you by the SideLine Sports Network. Super Bowl is over. Season is done. Dunzo. We have to wait 7 months until we get some more NFL action. It's gonna be a while, but I'm sure we're gonna have tons of news in between. Some wild news, and it's been a couple of days after the Super Bowl already, and there's already crazy rumors swirling around.
Right.
Um, but we're gonna cover the whole Super Bowl. We're talking about the NFL Honors Awards that went down Saturday, and then the NBA news and NHL news because there's some breaking NHL news that's going on as of today, and then other news within the NBA too. You know, but yeah, man, we'll kind of hop right into it. Super Bowl happened. I know you're happy. Old Tampa Tom Brady got number 7. You did pick the
I'm happy
Buccaneers to
for
win.
Tom. Exactly. I did pick the Bucks. So at the end of the day, I picked the correct Super Bowl winner,
You did.
So I'll take that. And I picked Aaron Rodgers to win the MVP too, so I'm gonna take that one as far as I
Yeah,
can
I
take
mean, yeah,
that. But that was a mid-season award type of pick. But anyway, as far as the Super Bowl, Brady got his 7th, Gronk got his 4th,
yeah, crazy,
4 for this tight
wild.
end. Like I
Shady
was
McCoy
wrong, by
has
the
2
way.
for doing nothing in 2 years
Doing
in a
nothing,
row,
and he's gonna retire.
and
He's
then
like,
now he's
I'm
gonna
out.
retire. Yep,
You got all
exactly.
these players on the Bucks that have been on the Bucks for years, finally experiencing a Super Bowl. Like Brady
Yeah,
was saying, like that's one of his proudest parts of it all is seeing like the old Bucks players getting their Super Bowl for the first time and just like
yeah.
how awesome it
I
is.
saw some hard times over
Yeah.
the past, well, for a while now, for
What
quite a
what were
while.
they? 7-9 last year, and now Super Bowl,
Yeah, and the
and
story of
prob
that was like last year was like Jameis throwing 30 picks
right.
and all that, but
But I think why would they not be able to be in this position again next year for Brady to potentially win his 8th?
exactly. And I mean, they kind of said that afterwards. Is Bruce Arians said he's coming back. Pretty much everybody said they're expecting to come back, and I mean, even
Yeah,
Mike Evans came out and said that he told Bruce Arians that he's willing to restructure his deal and take less money just to
to keep
keep,
people.
yeah, and get more
Right.
players. And like, man,
That's scary.
that's scary
They're
because
they're
we
trying to
thought
win
that was the
rings.
Chiefs last
Yeah,
year,
we thought the
because
Chiefs
we were
were
like,
the
oh shit,
problem.
everybody's coming back. They're gonna, and I mean, they went to the Super Bowl, no doubt, but I mean, now you got the Bucks that are gonna come back at full strength too, if not
Maybe
better.
they'll run into like Lamar or Josh Allen next year or something like
Yeah,
that with the
maybe,
Bucks.
or maybe like because I know I expect everybody expects Kansas City to be there too, and hopefully Kansas City will be a little bit more healthy and a little bit more you know, just have maybe they get some more pieces too. But I know they have a ton of pieces, but that O line needs some work
Yeah,
because as
that
everybody
man
knows,
ran 500 yards.
yeah, yeah, I had that down here. Like that's outrageous. Apparently, he was pressured on 52% of the snaps throughout the game, and oh man, I mean, as everybody saw, like dude was running every single play. He was throwing it. He was hitting receivers in the hands and the face mask a couple times,
And
but
they're
like
dropping it.
dropping it,
It
dropping
was
it.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
It,
I
it
like
was ridiculous.
nobody has seen this Chiefs team act like this in like a couple years now. Like,
Apparently, it's the first time he hasn't thrown a touchdown in a game since college.
yeah, oh my
I think
gosh.
like 2016, something like that. 27. I don't know. I don't remember what year it was, but like it was the first
That's
time since
crazy.
then that he hasn't thrown a touchdown in a game. 9 points. This Chiefs team could only put up 9 points against this
No
defense. Now
touchdowns,
we were talking about
all
this
field
last week.
goals.
That front
Yeah,
four, they didn't even need the blitz. They were just pass
exactly.
rushing,
We
and it was
yeah, we
enough.
both called that was going to be an issue, and it showed. It really did. That was the determining factor. Because I mean, I know they had Tyreek Hill, but like you can't. He didn't have enough time to even try to get open at that point. Like
Exactly. And even if he was open, Pat Mahomes didn't see him because he's running around like a
exactly. He
chicken with his head cut
started
off.
towards like the end of the game in the second half. He was resorting to running around for 10 seconds,
Yeah,
running back like 20 yards just to throw it.
making the
It was
situation even
wild. It was
worse.
definitely not the game everybody expected it to be. Like,
No,
yeah, I mean, we knew that the front four was gonna have some pressure on them, but not that bad. Like They went at him hardcore.
How about Gronk though? Getting 2
Gronk having
touchdowns.
2 touchdowns and Brady threw him 2 touchdowns. Fournette had a really nice touchdown run. Not even just a touchdown run. Fournette balled that
That was a
game.
great game for him.
Yeah, amazing game. I mean, everybody knew he was going to be like a force. And it seemed like, I remember because we even talked about during our live stream how like it seemed like he just kind of was quiet all season. He was decent. He was getting touchdowns and stuff. But like in the playoffs and especially now is like he unleashed his full power, like what he could really do.
Right.
Because like
I think they should have probably used him at the goal line instead of Rojo at that one point in the game.
Yeah.
But like that's not his fault, you know.
Yeah, I mean exactly. But he had a great game. Credit to Todd Bowles, man, for like that is like one of the best game plans against an offense that I've ever seen. Like especially
That's
like the
offense
Chiefs.
of that caliber.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean it was a great game. In the end, Tampa Bay ended up winning it. You know, Antonio Brown had a touchdown as well.
Think about what Tom Brady just did in this single postseason.
Yeah,
You know
he beat Aaron Rodgers.
The Washington No Names quarterback, Heineke, the legend. Isn't that what his name is?
Yeah, the legend Heineke.
The legend. Then proceeded to beat Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Who beat him twice during the year, you know. Aaron Rodgers, the MVP, and then Patrick Mahomes, the
reigning
next
Super
Tom Brady.
Bowl. Yeah, the next Tom Brady. And it just reached to a point in the game where the Bucs knew that no matter what they did, it was gonna work. So you started seeing them taking 6-yard runs, 7-yard runs, like just taking chunks out, and then we're just gonna pass it like 10 yards, 15 yards. They didn't really have any crazy like bomb plays. They were just doing what they had. They were doing what worked. They were just chipping away, running the time down.
It was perfect. They got field goals whenever they could. They just kept coming down and scoring points regardless.
Exactly. You know? They played a perfect game, man. And if they can do that, if they can carry that into the next season and get better, oh man, it could be scary.
They were 11-5 this year. 11-5 is good enough to get them in the playoffs. You know, they could do better than that next year. I could see them at 12-4, 13.
We could get a repeat, man. Unless
we play them next year.
Yeah, you do in Foxborough too. I forgot about that.
Tom Brady.
But yeah, man. Who knows? We'll see if the Bills can make it in next year, or if maybe the Packers could maybe go over that hump past that championship game. But it more than likely, as of right now, it could be a rematch.
We'll see what happens going forward here. We can definitely make our like way too early picks at some point in the next couple of weeks here.
But yeah, it is way too early. But congratulations, man, to Tom Brady on winning his 7th Super Bowl, man. 7 Super Bowls. Like no team has 7 Super Bowls, and one man has 7. Like that's outrageous.
I warned everybody about this. How are you gonna let this happen?
And it's looking like you could have 8, bro.
How? I don't understand it. Why did he leave? Why do you gotta leave? Why can't you win them all New England? Like, why do you gotta fucking leave?
It seems like he's enjoying life, man, in Tampa. Apparently, they're gonna have a boat parade tomorrow. They're gonna be like driving boats down through Tampa.
Social distance parade.
Yeah. But man, they're gonna try to run it back next year. Could be scary.
Hey, I'm happy for Tom Brady and Gronk, and
7
that's about all I got to say.
4 Super Bowls for them. Yeah, it was great, man. I mean, the best team won, obviously, and it's cool to see Tom Brady. It's cool to see like he was already having a legacy that we were witnessing, but it's just growing at this point.
He's just
and it's looking like he could have 8 Super Bowls or 9 Super Bowls when he goes to retire.
You guys have been spending this whole last 20 years hating this man, and I've been spending the whole last.
Listen, I like Tampa Tom.
Yes, Tom Brady.
I like Tampa Tom.
Now Tom Brady's in Tampa Bay, and I'm getting heat for liking him, but everybody else likes him.
I'm not giving you heat. I'm not giving you heat.
Oh, I know everybody else can like Tampa Tom, but I can't.
Everybody else does grill you, but I don't, because I understand. Like, so but when Carson leaves, I'm still gonna support Carson. That's what I'm saying.
If Carson won a Super Bowl, you'd be happy.
Exactly. I'll be rooting for him, dude.
You'd
No
be
matter
like,
where
hell
he goes.
yeah.
Hell yeah, that's my boy. Like I still
Hell
have,
yeah, Tom
I'm gonna
Brady.
keep his jerseys just in case.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm gotta wear it. You know what I'm saying?
Carson
Like,
Wentz go to the Super Bowl.
I did not wear this jersey all year until last week,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
I wore the Gronk one the first week of the Super Bowl. I didn't even wear the Gronk one until they were confirmed to be in the Super Bowl. That's when I
Yeah.
brought out the Gronk jersey, and then that's when I brought out the Brady jersey. So
Brady.
they've been in the
Man,
closet all year.
after he retires, they should retire 12 from every team in
Yeah.
the NFL. They should
On
just
some,
remove 12. Remove 12
Yeah.
from the NFL. I know Aaron Rodgers is 12, but sorry, man. You got to
Don't
go to
matter.
11 or 13.
He'll be done by the time they retire Brady's number, but there's no way they would retire that number for everybody. But that would be a wild gesture. But like,
That would be wild.
if you're gonna do it for anybody, do it for the one that's got more Super Bowls than anybody else.
The king, the GOAT.
Any other franchise.
Yeah, more than no one man should have all that
brings
power.
up an interesting question. What's more impressive? Like what's the most impressive sports career? Is this, where does this put Brady in the conversation more or less is just the real question. With the Floyd at 50-0, the Michael Jordan at 6-0, the Wayne Gretzky at whatever record Wayne Gretzky has. I know he is a monster in the NHL.
Yeah, he's a monster.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
like Tiger Woods,
honest,
Serena Williams.
Yeah. To be honest, I think Brady, man. I feel like that's the hardest thing anybody in sports can do. Like winning a Super Bowl is the hardest probably thing to do, but winning 7 of them, dude, like, and like changing teams and winning one too as a QB, like that's unheard of. I feel like that's definitely the hardest thing you can do.
I saw a stat today. When Tom Brady and Gronk play together, they win a Super Bowl 40% of the time. 40% of the time they win the Super Bowl when they play together. That's crazy. And it's just mind-boggling. Like,
that is.
Like, it's so hard to do. There's thousands of players in the league every year, you know, or like 1,300 something. Like, you know what I mean? Like every year.
Yeah. Because to like, I don't know, man. Because like, I'm not trying to say that like any of those other things aren't easy, you know, like.
No.
Winning winning a finals, like you got to win like 4 out of the 7 games to like, but I feel like football, everything has to go right. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit more strategic when it comes to
brings it even in more to question, like, how much can you even attribute it to Brady's legacy? Like, yes, he's there for all of it, but like when you're putting in what you were thinking, like it's harder to win an NBA championship as an individual than it is, like, not necessarily like harder, but I mean like harder in a sense of more work that you see. It's so hard. It's hard to put this in the perspective.
I think in Brady's terms, as a quarterback, it's the hardest to get that many chips.
Because you have to rely on so many other people.
Exactly. That and like it's his decision making too. Like he's the one scanning the field when they're passing and everything too.
Exactly.
But like it comes down to his ability as well. But I feel like seven Super Bowls is 7 Super Bowls. But would it be as talked about if it was just like one running back that has 7 Super Bowls, or one like wide receiver that has 7 Super Bowls?
Depends on
like obviously it would be crazy, but I feel like as a QB that magnifies it. Like because like he's the one running the whole system.
How many does Jerry Rice have?
I have to look it up.
But like somebody like that, like a legend, I feel like we would look at him like that. But even Jerry Rice has 3 less than Tom Brady if he has 4. You know, like it's just it's unheard of. I don't think anybody will touch it in our lifetime. He has 3. So yeah, Brady has more Super Bowl MVPs than that man has Super Bowl.
Gronk has 4.
How many people have 5 Super Bowl MVPs?
Yeah, not many at all, if any. Probably not.
How many people have 5 MVPs? I think he's got 4 MVP trophies. Season MVPs. So like it's not even like
Yeah.
he's postseason. He is the best postseason quarterback ever statistically and with the eye test. Like obviously we see it every single year. Best
Yeah.
postseason quarterback ever. But like he even has I think 3 or 4 regular season MVPs under his belt to go with that.
Yeah.
And also being I remember back in 2010 the first ever unanimous MVP. Like everybody was like, yes, Tom Brady is the MVP this year. Like everybody voted for him. I don't
He
think it
went
ever
undefeated a season too. On top of that, like people
Just,
like forget about that too. Like his
legacy.
Super Bowls, everybody knows his Super Bowls, but like this dude also went undefeated for a season too. Like he's done it all, man.
I was driving today thinking about this specifically pertaining to us and our friend group here. Since y'all met me, okay? Since y'all met me, he did not win a Super Bowl until the Seahawks. And I was catching so much shit. And like he did not win you know what I mean? That entire time since you guys met me, he did not win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was like 2005, 2006, 2007, somewhere around there. And I remember like just being the Patriots fan of the group and everybody just like, oh, and like I'm just like I'm watching all these other teams win the Super Bowl, get there, you know, like Tom Brady getting so close, losing here, and then in that 2013, I know, was it 2013? 2014 against the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
No. Yes. Oh man, it's so confusing. But like the Eagles were 2017. That's what I remember. But I was thinking about this the other day, like seeing the Seahawks lose to us. Whenever you guys were all up here, and I was just like, yes, that I feel like that was like the first Super Bowl that I actually like got to witness a win on that I was like completely involved in it. The other ones happened when I was 11. I'm sitting there in my living room watching them eating Tostitos with dip by myself. Like I remember this vividly. But like I was 11 and 12 watching those Super Bowls, like shit like that, you know. So that 20 and then seeing 07 losing, 12, I think, losing, Giants both times, and then so 14 seeing the win as an adult, I was just like, it just made me feel.
I only know that feeling one time, man, and it was probably one of the best days of my life. It was amazing. I love that day. Like I think about it because who knows when I'm gonna see that shit ever again, type shit, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like I know I'm not on the team, but like that's like the first time I've ever seen it, and might ever see it because I've only seen him one other time in the Super Bowl, and that was from that point. It was like 14 years before.
Right. I don't know if I'll ever see the Patriots in the Super Bowl again.
Who knows?
That's something I'm going to talk about later in my Patriots bubble, but like it as a Patriots fan, taking it for granted for sure over the last 20 years. For sure, like it is not that easy to make it to the Super Bowl.
And then it was like the beginning of the year is like Tom left. Oh no, he went to Tampa Bay.
Something's wrong with Tom. Something's wrong with Tom.
Something's wrong with Tom.
And then he's gone. And next thing you know, I'm like, what do you mean Tom Brady's not my quarterback? I have
didn't
not
know that could happen.
I didn't even know that was an option. Like it's literally been, if you go back as far as Tom Brady being a Patriot, I was 7 when he was on the team. I think I was 8 or 9 when I started liking the Patriots, you know? And so he has been my quarterback the entire time I have been alive, pretty much. Like I'm just like, and now he goes.
And he's still playing and won another Super Bowl, which is that's unheard of too. But yeah, they won 31-9, man. Tom Brady, he ended up with 200 yards, 21 of 29. The completions, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Patty Mahomes, he was 26 of 49, 270 yards and 2 interceptions. Like not good at all.
That line sounds like desperation football.
Yeah, playing hero ball. Leonard Fournette ended up with 89 rushing yards and a touchdown. Sure. I think he ended up with like 117 total yards.
With the receiving yards.
Yeah. Gronk had 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kelsey had a great game. He had 133 yards because that's pretty much all they could do is just like send him across the middle, and he was always open, it seemed.
Started
Um,
coming open in the second half there a little bit more too.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, that the Super Bowl definitely not the game people expected it was going to be, but still, it was a good game. It was crazy to see Tom Brady and the Bucks just dominate, like
Yeah.
go out there and just do anything they wanted.
Halftime show was great. I
Halftime
know
show
there's
was
like
great.
I
Weekend
hear a
was
lot of
great.
people don't like the weekend. A lot of people do like the weekend. I thought it was crazy. It was pretty enjoyable. It was just
Yeah,
like
I
definitely
thought it was
some like
pretty good.
Illuminati, like what is going on here? Like just but like hey, it was enjoyable. I liked it. It was cool to see them all the different like stage transitions, you know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, that was the Super Bowl. A lot of good commercials. There was some good ones in there. I know I like the Wayne's World one, and some of those Tracy Morgan ones were funny too.
We live streamed it. So if
We
you
did live
ever
stream it.
interested, if you ever go back and rewatch the Super Bowl, just put it on mute, put up our thing on YouTube, and listen to our commentary as you're
And
watching the
sync
Super
it up
Bowl.
with the game.
Exactly.
Exactly. And you can hear a whole analysis on it and the halftime show included. We did the whole thing, the whole shebang.
Yeah, we did. You can see us at the
Yeah.
halftime show, like
Oh,
just
oh, he's doing this song now.
oh, oh. I guessed right. I knew he was gonna do this song.
But a lot of people the day before the game, the night before the game, was the NFL Honors Show. That got a there was some controversy involved with at least one of the awards.
Yeah,
So we'll
for
kind of go
sure.
through them here. The Walter Payton Man of the Year award was the Russell Wilson. You know, Russ, he's a good guy going out there doing his
He's
part.
dangerous, but he's not
Danger
always
Russ.
dangerous. You know,
No, no,
he's
he helps out.
sometimes he's kind to us.
But that was like you expect Russ to win that kind of award. Old MVP award. Old
Mm,
bad man Aaron Rodgers. We've been calling it
the
here for weeks
bad
now
man.
that he was
Yeah,
going to win the MVP award. Josh
right.
Allen was the runner up, and then Patty
It,
Mahomes.
it
Uh,
was his MVP award to lose this year, like
yeah,
especially last 8 to 10 games of the year. It was just like obvious.
yeah, exactly. I mean, he definitely deserved it though with those stats.
Yeah,
Offensive Player of the Year was Derrick Henry. Man had 2,000 yards, like
yeah.
rushing, like he balled out.
It, I think there was some crazy stat. I forget what it was, man, about Derrick Henry like having 2,000 yards in college and in the NFL or something like that. And there was like only one human in the on the entire earth has ever done this. Oh, blah 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 or something. I forget what it was. I was like, man, Derrick Henry deserves everything he gets going forward. Every contract, like just two straight
Absolutely.
Russian titles. And not only did he have two straight Russian titles, he one upped himself. He got
Yeah.
2,000 yards now, so he joined that elite
What's he
club.
gonna do
Two
next
straight
year?
rushes.
They just only gonna run the ball.
Yeah, and like I was listening to an interview with him, and he was just talking about how he feels great. His body feels perfectly fine. He is
Oh
chilling.
man.
He's
I mean,
doing
he dude
workouts.
is like how LeBron is in the NBA, just like a physical specimen, dude. He's
Right.
just like
So
he's huge.
they
He's
were
just like, oh man.
because they
Um,
were asking questions about durability, like
yeah,
because
how
how
he's
many
feeling.
how many carries he's had over the last 2 years, and he was just like, man, I feel great. Like
I'm ready to run 2,000
I'm
more
ready to
yards.
go. like, yes, nice, nice.
Yeah, and I mean Aaron Rodgers was the runner up for that one. So I mean you got Derrick Henry and Aaron Rodgers as like the offensive player of the year. Head coach of the year was Kevin Stefanski for turning them Browns around.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean that was well deserved, man. I mean I
Well
talked about it
deserved.
last week how that was one of my highlights of the season was seeing the Browns doing what they did. They were able to make it in the playoffs and get a playoff win
Right.
too. And then the controversial one of the evening was the Defensive Player of the Year award, and that was Aaron Donald. Now everybody says that the award should have gone to T.J. Watt, and I totally agree. And I know
Yeah.
you feel the same way. I mean, T.J. Watt pretty
Absolutely.
much blown him out in all the stat categories.
When you look at
Eh,
all the stats, it's very obvious who should have won that award.
Exactly. So I totally agree. I don't know why they chose Aaron Donald, or maybe it was just
Just
all
namesake or
popularity, just
something.
namesake because
Like,
he won it like
who-
2 years ago or like three of the
but
last four or
still,
something. Two of the last four or something.
it's crazy how immediately everybody was like, "Oh, what? You know what I mean? What
I,
what do you
I
mean?
mean, T.J. Watt did win the Deacon Jones Award.
Whatever
Uh,
that is.
whatever that is. I was gonna say the same thing. But yeah, that was definitely questionable. I don't really get that one. Um, Comeback player of the year was Alex Smith, of course. And
Well
then there's
deserved.
apparently there
Well
was
deserved.
one vote voted for
For
Ben
Gronk.
Roethlisberger.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Literally,
What?
Alex Smith got every vote except for one, and it was for Ben Roethlisberger. And they're like, "What?" There must have been a Steelers
Who's
player or something.
yeah, he's just like
Must have been Juju or
Steelers
like
people.
Clay, like Chase Claypool or something.
Oh my god, ridiculous.
Um, and then we had offensive rookie of the year was Justin Herbert. He went out
Nice.
there, did his thing,
Well deserved.
well
And then
deserved. Young bull,
defensive rookie of the year.
Chase Young. Oh, hi, H.
Chase Young.
Yeah, man, he balled out. I mean, he started off a little slow, but dude, by the middle of the season, he was just like he was a beast every week
Yeah. He
at that
figured
point.
it out. He got up to speed with everything and he's only gonna get better from here.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to, especially Herbert too. It's going to be nice to see
He's gonna
both
be
those players.
chasing down Hurts.
Oh, oh,
Twice a year, baby.
we'll see.
Twice a year.
We'll
He'll be
see.
chasing.
Hopefully our O-line's all right by then. But the Art Rooney Award went to Teddy Bridgewater, and that was
Cool.
and then Rookie of the Year, I'm guessing, was Justin Herbert.
Oh, overall rookie of the year.
Yeah, just it says rookie here. It's just Justin Herbert was the top rookie. Justin
Okay.
Jefferson was number 2, which
Ooh.
man, I thought Justin Jefferson could have got one of these awards,
Yeah.
man. Especially breaking Randy Moss's record on the Vikings.
Yeah, but that's all right. He's got a bright future ahead of him too.
Yeah. And clutch play of the year was the Hail Murray, which with DeAndre
D-Hop.
Hopkins and Kyler Murray. Yeah.
Yeah, that play was amazing. Gets the Bills.
Yeah. But that was the NFL honors. I do have some other NFL news here. Just some small things here and there.
Yeah, I got a couple things here.
The one thing I have was just addressing the whole Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts, came out and kind of made a statement about Andrew Luck because the leaked text messages or whatever situation. His exact quote is, Andrew Luck he's more retired now than he was a year and a half ago. There's no wiggle room or rumor, as much as people want to hear that. Believe me, I wish it was true, and I wish I was hiding some big announcement. So it doesn't look like Andrew Luck's coming back, unless he's just lying. And he's waiting until like before training camp.
He's lying like Tom Holland's lying about Spider-Man right now.
Or Bruce Arians, whatever. He said, Antonio Brown is not coming to the Bucks. We have no room for him, such.
Next thing you know.
Antonio Brown catching a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl. And what did you have, Vern?
Oh, I got something like about Russ, the rumblings with Russ being unhappy about situation in Seattle right now. There's no way they trade him, but like that's something to keep an eye on.
He's saying he's tired of getting hit, man. He needs to do. They need to do something about that O-line. I actually have a little bit about that news because apparently teams are inquiring about him, and
they're all like
this. Yeah, well, this is very interesting. And this comes from a checkmarked like reporter. Like this is so like take it for what you will. So I mean, it is a source. It's a credited source. The one team that reached out to the Seahawks about acquiring Russell Wilson was the Cleveland Browns.
Trading Baker?
They don't know. That's all it says. The Cleveland Browns contacted the Seahawks about Russell Wilson.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's
something, like I said, we just keep an eye on going forward with that Russ situation because that came out of nowhere. Like, we knew it. We saw it. Apparently, this man has been sacked more than any other quarterback since he came into the league, and he's also never missed a game.
I think it was like 300 or 400, 300 sacks in like 9 years or 400 sacks
300
in
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
But
But
yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, Cleveland like willing to give up Baker? Like, thought that was the
he's like
future.
a above average quarterback. So,
Yeah.
and he's young. He's younger than Russ, but Russ is also 32 and going to age like fine wine if you keep him healthy.
Yeah, exactly. If you could put him behind a decent O line, man, if you move Russ to the Browns, they could have beat the Chiefs in that game.
Yeah.
I feel they could have
I don't want
definitely.
to see him in a Browns jersey. It looks
Oh,
so
definitely no, definitely not, definitely not. Another one of the apparently as of today, the Chiefs placed the offensive linebacker coach Britt Reed, Andy Reid's son,
yep.
On administrative leave after the whole car accident and everything that
Right.
happened a couple days
He's
before the
most
Super.
likely to be. I don't want to speculate on nobody like sentencing or nothing, but he's probably going to be ended up facing some type of jail time because he already
Oh, you
served
think
jail
so?
time. Well, apparently he already served jail time for a DUI in the past. You know
Ooh,
what
I
I
didn't
mean?
hear that.
So like,
I didn't see that. That's
I
crazy.
I don't know. I don't know for facts or nothing. It's just like stuff
Wow.
I'm reading. Like so, like,
Yeah,
but it was on ESPN. So like, we'll see. We'll see how that goes going forward. That's Andy Reid's son. So he's. I don't even
yeah,
know if he'll be back on the team in the next couple of years, type of situation. So we'll see.
yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
That's
he'll.
crazy
But
though.
that
I
it's
didn't
not
know
a
he had
good situation.
priors.
hmm
Um,
And I did have something here about
yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger is apparently like in contract negotiations with the Steelers and now trying to figure out the future going forward.
Yeah.
And then also, which like we kind of knew that was going to happen. I don't think anybody really
I
expected
saw
him to
something
retire.
about like the owner was said that like they're not going to go above a certain amount for him
Yeah,
for the year or whatever. So like that comes into question: is he like willing to negotiate to stay there, or is he like? Because I don't see him playing for anybody else at this point in his career. I feel like
no.
if he can't play, if they can't come to terms, he's just going to retire.
Maybe though. Maybe he does. Maybe he does it like a Philip Rivers type of situation. So goes to
Maybe
like a
just go
team that's
somewhere
like
for a year.
a quarterback away, like the Bears, if they don't get Carson or something like that, or something like
Yeah.
But then I
Um.
also had Dak not being included in that hype video is like some rumor floating around right now.
Which
Like,
hype
what's that all
video?
about?
Oh,
The
is it like a
Dallas
cat?
Cowboys hype video.
I didn't see
Dak
that.
not in it at all, and they were like, oh. And so I was like, okay. I'm
Well,
just
yeah.
loving the fact that all these quarterbacks are available or available. You know
There
how that
was
goes,
also
and we
some
need a
like
quarterback.
people freaking out because Dak followed the Washington football team on
Exactly.
Insta and
Like,
everything, and
what's
that like
going
begs the question: is Dallas dumb enough to trade him or let him walk, and so he stays in the division? Like, that's crazy. I would feel like Dak wouldn't go to the Washington if he had the choice, but who knows? Maybe he's like, fuck
See, man,
Cowboys, I want to get back at him type of
I
thing.
want to play them twice a year.
Yeah, and show and they got Ron Rivera. Like they like a couple pieces away from being decent, it seems. Um, but yeah, man, Dallas. Because I reported last week, I think it was, or 2 weeks ago, that they offered him the 5-year deal. I forget what the amount was, but as like lately, it seems like he's still like not about it, and they're
Yeah,
still like
they're not
not
close.
coming to an agreement, which is man. I
And
mean, they
he's
can
even
franchise
hurt
tag him
now, and
again,
he's
or
still
else they
yeah.
can let him go. Apparently, he had a second surgery that people are like just finding out about. Like he had to have a second surgery, and like they're saying that he should be ready for the season, but they don't know. They don't know what the timetable is. Um, but I guess they needed to have the second one to correct something else that from the first one. I don't know.
Hey, we'll see what happens go forward with that. And
Um,
then I did have
yeah,
one more thing here.
yeah,
Actually, I'm sorry, two more things. Something quick, like the NFL stadiums are open to being used for vaccination stations, which I saw was
yeah.
pretty cool. It was like, okay, cool.
That
NFL's
is cool.
cooperating, you know. And then some sadder news: top 10 all-time winning coach, Marty Schottenheimer, passed away at
Schottenheimer.
77 at
Yeah,
200 wins overall. It's pretty, battled Alzheimer's for the last couple years, but
yeah,
just wanted to say RIP
yeah. I was a
top 10
legend, man.
coach.
R.I.P. to him.
But that's pretty much all the NFL news that I had for us for
Okay.
today. What
Yeah, I
else do
got
you
two
got?
other things here. The Lions are expected to hire Antoine Randall L as their wide receivers coach. Uh,
Nice. Good
He
direction.
just finished the Super Bowl run as an offensive assistant with the Bucks, which I didn't
And
know. I didn't know
I didn't
Randall
even know he
Wells was
was
a
on
wide
the staff.
receiver. Yeah, so I guess he just got a Super Bowl ring. um, but yeah, he's expected to sign there. I could have saved this, but it was kind of NFL related. It is NFL related, but it is Eagles related. It's looking like they're trying to poach a player from the Colts at this point. The Eagles are expected to target Colts free agent Marlon Mack to pair up with
Interesting.
Miles Sanders in the backfield,
Okay.
which that would be a crazy 1-2 punch, man. If you got Miles Sanders and Marlon Mack, 'cause Marlon Mack's really good too.
Hey,
But
we'll
I don't
see
know
what
how they're
happens
gonna do it
with
with
that.
the cap situation or whatever's going on.
And
Um,
especially with the cap going down.
Yeah, exactly. But that's all the news I have here. So I'm willing to share right now. I do have some other stuff for the bias bubble. Um,
Right.
well, so yeah, now we'll roll into some NBA news. Vern, do you have any hot or not picks this week?
Dude, and I have it like a little bit updated. I've made it a little bit better than it has been because I was
Okay.
kind of just like looking at win losses, and I didn't really like that because it wasn't always telling the right picture, you know?
Yeah,
So I did
you're
a
looking
little
at
bit of
like
an
streaks
update
and
here.
stuff, and
Right, right. But I still pretty much mainly attribute it to win losses as far as the main teams that I'm using. But like I've
yeah.
got a little bit extra detail. The Bucks right now, five straight, but they're
Okay.
7-3 over the last 10. 7-3. My Lakers, five straight wins. 8-2
Damn.
over the last 10.
Okay.
The Kings, Sacramento, four straight wins. Okay, 7-3 over the last 10. Utah with a four-game winning streak. They're 9-1 over the last 10 games. So they
Jeez.
have been hot, hot, hot lately. And they were on a 10-game winning streak at one point, like
Yeah.
earlier in the season here. So they've been
Yeah, they
great.
were
And
like
they're
ten
back
and
on
one at
another,
one point.
right. So they're back on another four-game winning streak already. You know, then we got the
Jeez.
not. And Detroit lost four straight. They're 2-8 in the last 10. Cleveland lost four straight, 2-8 in the last 10. And
Oof.
then you got Memphis, who's kind of on a slump here of losing four straight at 6-4 over the last 10. So they're not quite as bad. This is just looking like a
Yeah.
straight slump for them. You know.
Yeah, I mean, like you could add Chicago in there as well. They're not doing hot either.
They're not
But
doing
speaking
so
of the
so not that I
Pistons,
didn't put on the list.
yeah, I feel you. Speaking of the Pistons, they traded Derrick Rose to the New York Knicks. That was
Hmm.
news here. And as of tonight, Derrick Rose made his first appearance with the Knicks, and
Yep.
he did pretty well. From what I saw.
It's cool to
I
see.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was hoping he was gonna go back to Chicago, um, but it is what it is. I do have some NBA news here. As of tonight, Steph Curry now has at least 4 threes in 12 straight games, and that ties the second longest streak in NBA history and ties the
Damn.
longest run of Curry's career.
Well, there's
So
just another record for him to have in the 3-point category. It's only natural.
exactly, and that was tonight during the game. So that's pretty new. Another news that kind of broke out today. Dallas Mavericks have stopped playing the national anthem before their
I
home
saw,
games.
I have that
And
on
they
here as
didn't
well.
elaborate why. He just said that's what they've been doing.
He
Because I
said he had
guess
a
I guess
conversation.
teams are allowed to do whatever they feel is necessary for pregame and everything. So they've been doing that, and they haven't talked about it until now. But they still didn't elaborate. They just wanted to kind of let it out there. But
Right.
yeah, so I mean, it would be interesting to see if any other teams start to do that.
Yeah, if it starts some sort of trend there, but I did see that as well.
Yeah. And I do have here Malik Beasley was sentenced to 120 days at county workhouse with work release at home and confinement options that will be served at the end of the NBA season.
Okay, so he's going to be able to play at least throughout the
Yeah, he's
year
gonna
here.
be able to play his season, but after that, you gotta serve your time, man.
Got to serve your time. Whatever you did, I didn't read into that one, but I did see the headline on that about him getting that sentence. Did you see what happened? Like what the situation was or anything?
I didn't. They didn't go into detail on the thing that I saw. So I
Gotcha,
mean, I didn't look too far into it. Um,
gotcha.
and as for that, I actually do have some specifics for the Derrick Rose trade. They traded Derrick Rose to the New York Knicks for Dennis Smith Jr. and draft compensation.
Okay. I mean,
And then,
Detroit's not going anywhere, so I don't see them, doing much
yeah,
here.
yeah, exactly. And something else, somebody that's been relatively quiet, you haven't really been hearing a lot about this season for some reason. Zion Williamson is the only player in NBA history to average 23 points per game in his first 43 career NBA games while shooting above 58% field goal percent. So, I mean,
Man, he's a monster.
the next closest player in field goal percentage who averaged 23 points per game in his first 43 games is Shaquille O'Neal with
Yeah.
57.
See, I thought it was going to be another big man.
Yeah, but I mean, Zion has been balling. I mean, the Pelicans, they're not terrible. They're just kind of like mediocre right now.
Yeah, they
But I
got
mean,
Steven Adams out
Zion,
there.
he was the talk of the town last year, but since like you haven't really
You
heard
know
too
who
much
it is
about him this year.
now. Melo, Rookie of the
Melo, who
Year.
is balling. But
Rookie
yeah,
of the Year.
it's weird that
This dude,
I felt like he just kind of dropped off the face of the earth. Zion did.
he's still he's fine. Just he needs to be on a winner, you know.
Exactly.
But Melo, bro, this dude. I'm not saying he's going to be the next great anything. I'm saying right now he's first in points per game, assists, steals, and second in rebounds for all rookies.
Oh my gosh.
His points per game is like 16, and that's good enough for first. Since becoming a starter, he's averaging 22.6. So
He's taking that starting role and he's like
man,
he's just adding on to everything. He's getting better.
That's
awesome to see, man. Yeah, that is awesome to see.
It's just he's quiet, just like Lonzo. Lonzo was quiet too, but like Melo's just out here hooping, and he's actually backing up the talk. It's crazy to see. This has been years in the making, and maybe Melo was the best of the three, and we didn't even know. So
I mean, he was out there playing in like different leagues too, so he was playing against people that had some talent. Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, that's like Luka. Like that's what Luka was doing, man.
Exactly.
But I mean, that's another story as of right now. Like, who knows what's going on with them Mavs? They're in disarray.
Right.
But that's all the news that I have regarding the NBA.
Same.
I don't know if you have anything else. But we can kind of do a rundown of the conferences. Philly is still in the lead in the East. They got 17.
Hold it on. Hold the line.
Hold the line. That's what they're trying to do because Milwaukee's right behind them. They're only a game
It's
behind.
great. I don't like Philly, but like at the end of the day, it's nice to see somebody different like Philly at the top of that East.
Yeah.
Like just killing it right now. Like usually lately at least Milwaukee, Boston, Toronto, stuff like that.
I mean, it's really only them because the next seed is Boston and they're 4 games behind Milwaukee. So I mean,
right.
It looks like they're just going to keep exchanging the 1 and the 2 seed unless Philly can actually hold that 1 seed for a while. You got Boston at 3. And I think they just had someone come back tonight too. I forget who it was. They just started playing again tonight. Brown. Well, I think it was Jaylen Brown. I think he came back. But then you have Brooklyn, who are 14 and 12 now. Like they've been slipping a little bit. They had a rough night tonight without KD.
Man. They're on a 3-game losing streak, 5-5 over the last 10. I was gonna put them on the list, but I didn't because they're only on a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah. I mean that makes sense. They just lost to the Pistons tonight, 122 to 111. And we were just talking about how bad the Pistons are. But you saw like James Harden kind of arguing with like DeAndre Jordan on the side there. So I mean, it's like I don't have doubt that they won't be able to get it figured out. I think they can get it figured out. Maybe they just need KD back in the lineup, and maybe that's what helps too.
But I mean, KD in any lineup would help.
Yeah, that's true. It is KD. But yeah, then you have the Pacers. The Hornets have the 6th seed, which is like Charlotte's actually in the top 10, the top 8 seed, which is odd.
To take them to the playoffs. They might not go very far, but they'll make the playoffs.
They're going to be in the playoffs. Then you got the Hawks, and then Toronto has actually snuck into the 8th seed now because
back up there.
Chicago, we've been losing. We dropped a decent bit, a little bit.
Down to 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh.
Cool. Yeah,
It's
we're looking.
okay.
I don't know if we're starting. We're like, all right, maybe we need to take. Maybe we actually do need a decent draft pick again this year.
Start playing it. We'll
But the
see. We'll
Heat,
see.
since Jimmy came back, they've been getting some wins now. The Heat.
They're
I
on
mean,
3-game
they
winning
look
streak.
like, yeah, they look like they're kind of coming back a little bit, even though they lost their center.
Mhm.
In the Western Conference, Utah has the is not one seed technically, just because
Yeah,
they're 19-5. The Lakers are 19 and
they're a
6.
half a game up on us.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. But I mean, that's crazy to see, like Utah having the one seed at least. I mean, who knows
Yeah,
how long it's
they're
gonna be
playing
for.
great.
But
Donovan Mitchell was pissed after Shaq
Shaq,
said that shit to him. He's
Shaq's
like,
just
"Oh
gonna be
yeah,
like, this is what I did in the first
see,
place.
I'm the reason Donovan Mitchell's
I'm the
as
reason
good as he
Donovan
is.
Mitchell's so good right now.
Put some respect on my name. I got a degree and I got the level 5 clearance to say what I said to Donovan Mitchell. Like,
But then you got two LA teams. You got the Lakers and the Clippers at 3.
as to
Phoenix
be expected
Suns.
here.
Yeah,
Yep,
as we
Phoenix
expected.
at 4. That's nice to see, bro.
14 and 9. They're doing really well right now. It's looking. I mean, Chris Paul, man, he's having a great season so far
Right.
over there on the
Right.
Suns with Devin Booker. Then you got San Antonio, which they're at 5. That's not a team that a lot of people are really talking about.
They're a
They're
little bit
14
better
and
than
11.
expected right now. They're still the Spurs. They still got Pop out there, you know.
Yeah. And Portland, they're holding the line without CJ McCollum. I mean, Dame's still in there, but they're 12 and
This
10 now.
Western, the 4 through the 8 seed is gonna get wild by the end of the
Yes,
year, man.
because Golden
Because
State's coming.
all the way down to Dallas, all the way down to Dallas and Oklahoma, it's
Yeah.
only a four game difference. It's a
Hmm.
4-game difference from the 4 seed to the 14 seed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Man,
true.
that
So I mean,
that's gonna
you can
get
see a
wild.
lot of mix up there, but you can pretty much guarantee those top 3 is going to
Yeah.
be like Utah, Lakers, Clippers. You can see that going
Mhm.
into the playoffs. But yeah, that's all the NBA news I have as of right now. Celtics are in a close game with the Jazz. They're only in the second quarter though, so it's nothing too much to talk about.
I hope
Um,
they beat the Jazz.
um, but I do have a little bit of basketball news. It's not NBA. After losing to Notre Dame today, Duke is below 500 for the first time since November 1999.
Damn,
They
that's
haven't been below
crazy.
500 since 1999.
Jeez. That's Coach K, man. I
Coach
mean,
K.
I know Kansas is out of the top 25 for the first time in like a decade.
Wow, I
It's
didn't
just
see that.
ridiculous. There's certain teams that aren't, you know, it's a weird year.
Aren't getting it
Just hope
done.
we get March Madness in.
Yeah. And some NHL news. Crazy stuff going on, man. I don't know if you saw it, but COVID
Uh,
has struck the NHL.
oh, for real.
COVID has struck the NHL. They postponed a bunch of games. The Flyers don't play for another 6 days. They
Oh,
were they
man.
yeah. The teams that are affected as of right now are the New Jersey Devils, LA Kings, the Flyers, Minnesota, Colorado, Chicago, and Buffalo right now have at least one positive and others that are in protocol for contact tracing.
Oh,
Um,
man.
I think it was Claude Giroux and one other player for the Flyers. They think they got it from the last game they played against. I think it was the Capitals they played. But they beat the Capitals, and then like a day or two later, boom, you got test positive. So I mean,
Right.
yeah. So I don't know, man. It's looking pretty bad. The rest of the teams have 0 players in COVID protocol, and that includes the whole Canadian division. But as of right
So, I
now,
mean,
like
we'll
the
see if they
conversation
could
in the
just kind
hockey
of
world,
traverse that.
yeah, I mean the conversation in the hockey world is, are they going to go back to a bubble format? Because that's what they're
They're
talking
probably going
about.
to have to.
Yeah. That's the current talk, is whether they should actually go back to doing that as of right now or not, at least for those ones that are affected, those divisions. Just keep them in like bubbles just for the division, since that's the only ones that are playing, you know?
Right.
Um,
Man.
but
That's
Yeah, I mean,
interesting. I didn't see that. I just read about that here.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what's been going. I don't know who really started it, but you know how it is. Somebody has it, and then they play because it's usually you play against a team, 2 games against a team, and then they move on to the next 2 games against another team. You're playing all
Right.
these teams. Who knows? Like, and they say, what is it? You might not have symptoms from up to 14 days. So,
Yeah.
man,
So it could
you
have been a
could be,
different team from,
yeah,
could have been
exactly,
2 teams ago. Jeez, it's crazy,
exactly.
man.
Um,
The NFL had a little bit of a scare here, like with the same thing, where a bunch of teams were popping up with it for a couple weeks, and then it quieted
yeah,
back down. They got it under control, so
it's just a
I
little
expect
like
them to do the
they're
same.
postponing games because I mean, at least in the NFL, you have 53 men on a roster too.
Yeah,
NHL, you don't have that many, man. You're you're very limited. So you get like
true,
three or
true.
four players in
Same with the
protocol.
NBA.
Yeah, same with the NBA, exactly. But as for like the division leaders, you got Tampa Bay, they're 8-1. Boston are 8-1.
Austin.
Boston are 8-1. But even though they're 8-1, they're still tied for first in the division because the Flyers have the same amount of points as they do because it goes
Right.
off of points. It doesn't go off of the win loss. So technically, Philly and Boston are tied for that one
Okay.
spot.
Okay.
But you guys are the only team that has beaten us this season.
Hey.
Literally, we played you twice. You guys have mopped the floor with us so far. We've been getting wins other than you guys, but for some reason, Boston is Philly's kryptonite right now. And then the North Division, you got Toronto, their leading division, and then the West, you got St. Louis Blues. They're 7-4. Now league wide, where's league wide? Toronto is leading. They're number one in the league right now with 10-2. Then you got Tampa Bay, Boston, the Montreal, and then Philadelphia, and then you got the Panthers. But yeah, I mean, who knows what's going to happen because we're
See
only
if they
like
can finish the
13,
season.
14 games into the season. Yeah, so I don't know if they're just going to have to take a break maybe for a minute, let things settle down, or maybe if they're going
Figure
to
out the
start
bubble.
exactly figure out a bubble or what's next. That's the question. Because I mean, as of right now, they're going on with the other games that throughout the league
Yeah.
that you don't have any positives. So
They're probably
who knows?
gonna just try to fit in as many as possible before they make a decision on what's going forward. Just keep rolling the games. Like as long as there's no positive tests popping up on these teams, keep rolling them.
Yeah, exactly. But that's all the NHL news I have. It was just
Okay.
a lot of COVID stuff going on. So
Yeah.
let's kind of roll into the bias bowl, man. I know you got some stuff to talk about. You said with the Patriots,
Yeah,
the
man. I
Patriots.
got first and foremost. Well, I just want to talk about the Super Bowl for a second.
Oh yeah, Tom
Shit's
Brady.
shit's crazy. It's very bittersweet to see Tom Brady and Gronk win the Super Bowl. I'm
Hmm.
salty and I'm
I'm
happy.
sure.
It's a weird feeling. I've never felt this weird feeling before, so I'm just like I don't even know how to feel. Like obviously I'm wearing his jersey right now. I'm just like yeah, go Brady. But I'm just like man, you really had to go. You really had to leave. And then like in the back of my head, I'm like, if I see Julian Edelman put on a Buccaneers jersey anytime within the next 2 years, I'm gonna be pissed the fuck off. I'm just gonna be like,
Bro,
why? Like
it could happen.
it could
Like
absolutely happen.
that's
But
not
if
even
he,
like that
it
could
could
happen.
happen this season, this off season. Like it
Say
could be
like
one of the yeah.
Godwin or one of these other receivers are like, all right, I'm gonna go make some money now. Like I could prove what I could do. Jules, like, you know what? I go over there, Tampa, or what's his name? Amendola. Get
Yeah,
hit.
fucking that fucking guy. I got different opinion on Amendola ever since he said that shit. Fucking Amendola. He catch the Super Bowl pass for the Patriots and talking shit like that. Get the fuck out of here. But anyway, I did also have Robert Kraft used aircraft to fly
Yeah,
76 healthcare workers down to Super
I
Bowl.
saw that.
Thought that was pretty cool.
That is
Using the
pretty
big
cool.
jumbo jet with big 6-time champion on the side of it. You know what I mean? It was
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool to see. And then speaking of Robert Kraft, they apparently judge ordered that videotape gets destroyed. The evidence.
I didn't see anything about that.
The judge ordered that the tape destroyed because the police illegally obtained the footage or some shit. So like that all the
It was a
evidence
setup.
is completely destroyed. So like
Going back
apparently
to
it
the
never
plane, you
never
said
existed.
I think Tom Brady should buy his own jet and put 7-time Super Bowl champ on it.
I'd be like, fuck you, Brady.
And then just because I know it has like the Patriots logo and stuff on it, Tom's will just have like a picture of him holding like with his rings.
Just like, just all that's only 5 rings right there. So even you like just chilling. That'd be some shit, man. Drake's got to play, so why not?
Why not?
But one thing I did want to talk about.
Yeah.
At this point, Bill Belichick has to win at least one more ring, or everything is in question. Was it all Brady? Right now, everybody, all I hear on the news is like, Bill Belichick was not the real reason they won the Super Bowls. It was all Brady. And then I got people on the other side like, you're stupid. Bill Belichick obviously had a huge impact.
I think it was both of them, man. I don't think you would have Brady without Belichick. Like, Brady isn't the way he is without Belichick.
Right, but how much of Belichick wouldn't be there without Brady? You know, that's the question to be begged.
That's
so,
true.
like, to get rid of that stigma, he needs to win at least one more Super Bowl.
I think it's going to be a harder road for Bill to get a Super Bowl than it's going to be for Tom, because Bill's got to build the whole team. Yeah, exactly. Right. And I mean, I like Patriots, but it's not like you guys have had an amazing, successful draft over the past like how many years now.
Missed on so many great players, but a lot of teams do. But
that's been a lot of talk around the Patriots that I've seen is like, how are they going to be able to rebuild at this point to get to being a contending team?
Are we going to get a Mac Jones? Are we going to let Stidham play? Like, I had a list of quarterbacks here that could potentially play for the Patriots next year.
We can have a race, because I feel like the Eagles and the Pats are like right in the same kind of position as of right now.
Let's make a bet right now.
Who's going to win a Super Bowl first or something?
Let's make a bet right now. 10 bones.
10 bones, okay.
$10.
On who wins the next Super Bowl first?
First, exactly. Whoever wins first. So if the Eagles win it, doesn't matter if it's.
You guys already have a head start because you have Bill Belichick as your goddamn head coach. So I'll give you that. That's your handicap right there.
But we just lost Tom Brady, so we're going through a lot of trauma. But anyway, $10. Whoever wins the Super Bowl first gets $10.
10 bones. That's a good bet, because we're literally like equal right now. We're trying to. We're in rebuilding mode.
But I had a list of potential quarterbacks, like whether they're free agents, whether they're trades, like Stidham, Garoppolo, Jacoby Brissett, potentially.
Bring Jacoby back.
Love to see Jacoby back as much as I would love to see Garoppolo back.
Yeah. The rumor this week was about Garoppolo, like New England was possibly eyeing Garoppolo return.
I'm worried about Garoppolo's health more than anything. Not necessarily like because of him being hurt right now, but because of his history. Like, he doesn't seem like a stable quarterback. He just doesn't seem like somebody who would be there for the next 10 years. You know?
Carson
Mariota,
Wentz.
He's on the list as well. Carson Wentz.
Apparently, Mariota's getting a lot of trade talk right now. Teams have been acquiring about Mariota more than Derek Carr.
Exactly. I have Carr on here as well, but what if Mariota comes and he becomes like a Ryan Tannehill to us? Like, I think the resurgence. Could. This was the difference that he needed. I would love to see a Mariota. Could. Also, Teddy Bridgewater. Apparently, they were shopping him, trying to get Matt Stafford. There was a report about Teddy Bridgewater being included in the package. So
apparently,
if they're trying
Carolina's contacted the Eagles about Carson at one point.
Probably trying to get rid of Teddy.
Yeah. So who knows?
But that's about all the Patriots.
Maybe try to get old, like, brain of a harbor man, heart of a plumber, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
That's in the news as well. They said is like, because he could potentially play for every team in that division, because he's played for the Jets, the Dolphins,
I am a Ryan Fitzpatrick fan. Send this dude to the Colts. Imagine what he could do on the Colts, bro. Or like send him to New England or something. Like, him and Bill, I feel would work amazing together.
Hey, I'll take anybody at this point. Cam ain't the answer.
No. That's like one I haven't even heard any news on.
Nobody's talking about Cam.
Nobody has talked about Cam Newton at all. Through all these QB moves and controversy, like, I haven't heard a single word on where Cam could go.
As much as I love Cam Newton, and I love Cam Newton back when he was on Auburn because of the Iron Bowl, seeing them
Yeah.
beat Alabama, like that. I just love that shit. Like, even so, I've been a Cam Newton fan for years now, so that's why I
Yeah.
was super happy to have him on the team. And he's just a shell of himself. If anybody, he's like a Bo Jackson situation where maybe his career would have been better if he didn't get so banged up. Like
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous, But he's definitely not the quarterback of the future. He wasn't even the quarterback of the immediate future. So
Yeah.
I love Cam, but you gotta go. Maybe you be a
Yeah.
backup or something.
Be a backup somewhere.
Maybe
Exactly. Maybe
backup for
find.
us.
Yeah, maybe be backup for you guys. Maybe be backup somewhere. Maybe being a backup will help him in the long run to maybe
Like
get back to a starting position.
like a potential Jameis Winston. I hope Jameis
Exactly.
Winston has a great year this year,
Because
wherever
I
he
mean,
plays.
even Ryan Fitz, I don't think Ryan Fitzpatrick has ever. They talked about this the other day. I saw something. It's like Ryan Fitzpatrick has never been given the opportunity to be built around. He's always
Right.
been pushed. Nobody's actually tried to build around him, and I feel like if somebody tried. I know he's getting up there now, but I think he's still got a lot. He proved it this year on the Dolphins, like he could still
Yeah.
ball out. So I mean,
It's just
who
how
knows?
long are you gonna get it out of him?
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. One injury, man, that could change the whole situation.
Right. He seems to be spotty too. Like, and he shows
Yeah,
inconsistency. He's got great like stretches,
he
but
can
then like
he can be that Nick Foles for a team. If the main
yes,
quarterback gets hurt, bro, he's gonna come in and win you fucking games.
exactly, exactly. But I did have something here as far as the Lakers go as well. Uh,
Lakers.
all these overtimes are killing LeBron. First of all,
But he just said a week or so ago he doesn't get tired, Vern. He said
well,
he's a machine. He says he's done
as
this. He
of
said
this
he's at
week,
peak physical shape.
he's talking about how he was tired and he was trying to
He's
go
like, man,
home.
I'm kind of tired now.
I'm tired, boss. I'm trying to
I
go
need to go
home. So
home,
he
drink some wine.
hitting back-to-back threes in a row to end this game. Let's get out of here. We gotta go home. And then another overtime. So hey, young NBA teams like the OKC Thunder, chill. Okay, you don't need to be taking LeBron in 2 overtimes and shit.
He's like, yeah,
We
I'm
got
tired.
got AD with a sore Achilles, not playing. Got Caruso out.
That's not
Just
good. I
chill.
didn't know they were out.
He's fine. AD just he left the game apparently, but like he sat out, but like
That's something you don't want
they
to
said
mess
it's
with.
they said it's precautionary. He's fine.
You
Vogel
don't
was
want a
talking about
KB
it.
situation happening.
Exactly. They
Out
said
for
the
2
tendon is
years.
fine. It's just kind of sore, and it's something that he's been dealing with for a minute. So like, hopefully, it's not that's something to keep an eye on going forward.
Yeah.
But I did see LeBron also said the All-Star. He pretty much said exactly what I said about the All-Star game last week. He's like, it's a slap in the face to the NBA players.
Yeah.
Like he is not for it.
Nobody seems like they are for it at all.
Right. And that's pretty much what I expected. And I just wanted to put that out there. Like Giannis was talking about, he's like, we got to do what the big bro says, like talk about LeBron type of shit, more or less like echoing his sentiment on that. But
Yeah.
they're 19-6, like we were saying, going forward. Is that a 9 or a 4? I don't know. But 5 straight wins. I'm happy about what's going on right now. Even though they got a couple injuries they're dealing with, they still got the depth to recover from that. So
Yeah.
keep it rolling, LA. Keep it rolling.
Okay. On my side here, I mean the Flyers, they were supposed to have a game tonight. It was postponed. The next 3 games are postponed. They're tied for first in the division with the Bruins with 18 points. Their current record is 8-3 and 2. The 2 overtime losses got us some points as well, which was nice.
Right.
But yeah, man, it sucks. I was kind of excited to watch the game tonight, but yeah, game against Capitals postponed, and then the next 2 games against the Devils is postponed. So the next one's going to be on Valentine's Day against the New York Rangers.
Okay.
So who knows? I mean, maybe that'll give us some time to get a little healthy. We had some guys that were a little banged up. Get them
it
healthy.
could be a blessing in disguise.
Exactly. Kind of how like it was going like at the end of last season going into the playoffs. We were on such a run, but people were banged up. So
Yeah.
that time in
Give you
between
plenty of
when they
time.
stopped and when the bubble was formed, we were healthy and actually made a nice playoff run
Yep.
in the bubble. But hopefully that'll happen here. The Bulls, they're not doing so hot. It seems like
They're slipping.
they're slipping. It seems like they just cannot play basketball in the first half of these games, man. They're like
Then to
falling
play catch
behind
up.
by 10 to 15 points, have to play catch up, end up coming back in the second half, and then they end up losing by 2 points or 3 points. So I mean, it's the same every time.
They're young.
It's the
They
past
got to
4
figure it
games.
out. They're
Exactly.
young.
It doesn't help. Lowry Markkinen, he's out for like 2 to 4 weeks now. He has
Damn.
like a shoulder strain,
Okay.
which sucks. But yeah, man, hopefully they can get on track. Their current record,
Make the playoffs.
they're 9-14. Yeah, I mean their only hope right now is to scoop in on that 8th seed. That's if like the Knicks or the Raptors don't start winning games too, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Bulls, they're young. I wasn't really expecting them to do much this year anyway, so maybe they can get a decent draft pick or maybe just scoop into the 8th seed. I'd be cool with that too.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to next year. Next year is whenever hopefully get like a nice free agent signing with one of these huge stars.
Bunch of people
Maybe.
available next season. So
Exactly. Have something to build off of at
see
that
my
point.
Lakers can scoop.
Yeah. And even see who Lakers can scoop. You already have a stacked roster. You don't need any more. Give us some of that players.
The Nets are
of
gonna
course,
take over.
the damn season's over, and there's still Eagles news to be talked about.
Still got news.
Before I talk about Wentz, the Eagles signed Jamal Singleton to be the new running backs coach, which fills out the whole coaching tree. Everybody's hired now. He's coached Joe Mixon, Giovanni Bernard, Marshawn Lynch, Marlon Mack, which is somebody that's like rumors already talked about. Neem Hines and Frank Gore. So I mean, he has some experience with some of these like top running backs. And we'll just talk about it. Carson Wentz, rumors over the weekend were super strong. They were saying he is going to be traded in the next couple days to either the Bears.
I said it was going to be before this podcast. And
you said it was going to be on Tuesday. Yeah,
I thought it was going to be before it so we could talk about it, but it wasn't.
Exactly.
He's still not traded.
The Bears, as last that I've heard, has had the highest offer for him. But as of today and yesterday, talks have really slowed down about the trade. I guess the Eagles aren't happy with the offers they've been getting. They don't think that it's been high enough, which based off the year, I can understand why they're being lowballed. But
but you can't talk about how you're trying to get rid of this quarterback and be like, oh, you're not giving me enough. What do you mean it's not worth all this?
But I think it was Ian Rappaport and I think it was Schefter today reported that it seems as of right now that the talk within Eagles organization is maybe they've actually stepped back, took a breath, and are maybe looking at the situation and under a different light. Maybe they're second guessing themselves. Maybe they're like, maybe we could fix it with Carson. I don't know. At this point, I feel like it's already passed. Like
it's too late.
It's too late. That's the way I see it. I don't think they're gonna get 2 firsts and a player for Carson Wentz. I was surprised if they got 2 firsts. I'll be surprised if they get 1 first for Carson.
Yeah.
But Ian Rappaport says teams are calling about Wentz. Several teams value Wentz more than the public thinks. Doesn't mean he will be traded, but the Eagles know what the market is around him. But the top 2 teams that are being mentioned is the Bears and the Colts. They said the 49ers have talked to him. The Panthers have talked to him. Other than that, I don't know if there's any other teams that have talked to him.
Maybe we'll pop in late.
Maybe. But at this point, I feel after especially everything that happened this week with all the rumors and shit, I feel like it's beyond now. Like you have to trade him. I feel at this point, like
he's got to
go. Keep him. It would be wrong. So
yeah,
I mean,
I don't think he even wants to be there anymore.
Exactly, but I mean, at this point, we still haven't heard anything from him. There's no official report from his agent or from him about any of this. So I mean, it's all
True.
speculation as of right now. So who knows?
Dang.
There's a lot of speculation that all the news that was going on about like the rumored Bears off, like all the news that was apparently they're saying that maybe the Eagles leaked all this news to like boost his draft, like to boost his like his price, saying maybe putting out interest that like teams are like offering this and this for him to get other teams to be like, all right, I'm gonna offer you this now. But I mean,
don't
that's
know if
kind
it's
of
gonna
died
work
down at
for
this
him.
point. I mean, it
Yeah.
already hasn't. Today it died out. Like there's really no
Right.
news on it. But as far as other
Backfired.
news, Eagles have drafted 49 players from 2014 to 2020, of which only 2 have made the Pro Bowl.
What?
And yes, all the players they've drafted from 2014 to 2020, out of 49 of them, 2 have made the Pro Bowl, and that's Carson Wentz. And as of this year, they actually put Miles Sanders in. He didn't
Cool.
at the initial Pro Bowling, but going into Pro Bowl weekend, they added him as into the Pro Bowl. So technically,
So
Miles Sanders has a Pro Bowl now.
damn, that's it.
Yeah, but Miles Sanders, only the players that have been drafted since
Yeah.
2014.
But that's
We've
not
had
including
players
free
make the
agents.
Pro Bowl, like Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelsey. But
Right.
yeah, since then, only Carson Wentz and Miles Sanders have been the Pro Bowlers.
Wow.
And to take a look, I do have Wentz's. This is what he looks out of all the 32 starting quarterbacks from 2017 through 2019. This isn't including his terrible year. Carson was 4th in touchdown percentage, 3rd in interception percentage, 5th in QBR, 9th in yards per game, and 8th in wins. So minus
He's
the
a top 10
2020 year,
quarterback.
he's a top 10 QB, man. Like you
Right.
can't hold
Borderline
this
top
season.
5.
Like I understand he made a lot of bad decisions himself, but dude, you
Pat
had
Mahomes looked like Carson Wentz in the Super Bowl.
yeah, that was a dude. Like
That's
the
what
Philly
happens.
media was like pissing Philly fans off that were like on the because like they were like, oh, Pat Mahomes looks pretty bad in this game. Maybe you should trade him this offseason. Like,
Maybe you should trade him. Oh, fire Andy Reid. Oh, blow it all up.
Exactly.
Blow it all up. Start chatting.
Exactly. Blow it up. Maybe you should trade Pat
I
Mahomes.
thought the same thing.
Exactly. I know Carson made a lot of mistakes, but dude, you had you had 13 O-line changes. You had new receivers that didn't know what they were doing pretty much and hurt players. And then on top of that, you had a terrible game plan, terrible play calling. And then he had shit in his own head that was going on. They just drafted a QB that's behind him now that everyone's saying that should be playing.
Right.
Like, dude's going through some mental shit on top of everything else is going through. So it's like people really, I feel like, are sleeping on Carson Wentz, dude.
Start, man. He needs
Exactly.
a fresh start and place to thrive.
Exactly. And I think, and I keep putting this on Twitter, man. Watch it happen. He's gonna go somewhere and he's gonna ball the fuck out. And I can't wait to laugh at every Philly fan that is like, "Oh man, we should have traded him."
You're like, look at this, look at it.
Blame Howie and
when he's with the
Howie
Colts,
Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie for this bullshit.
when he's
'Cause,
in
like,
the AFC Championship against Pat Mahomes.
he's gonna go up winning a Super Bowl or some shit. Like, or at least making like a run in the playoffs. Like he's gonna be he's gonna end up winning an MVP or some shit. Or like putting up Pro Bowl in numbers. And
That'd
like
crazy.
I'll be happy for him. But like I know what could have been. Like if they would have chose to build around him and put the right cast around him, man. I think they could have done something. And it's sad, man. But it'll get resolved, I'm sure. Who knows? I don't know. I'm rolling with Jalen Hurts as of right now. He's my starting QB.
At least you got a quarterback.
That's true.
At least
but
you got a quarterback.
knowing Howie Roseman, he's gonna end up drafting a fucking quarterback in the in the draft at 6.
You're gonna draft a quarterback and get Nick Foles.
He gonna trade up and get like Trevor Lawrence, and have Trevor Lawrence or Jalen Hurts. You're like, oh great, or getting Nick Foles exactly, and then you got Nick Foles, which I said it during the live stream. I don't want Nick Foles back in Philadelphia. We don't need a QB controversy. I understand he can help train Jalen Hurts, but fuck that. Let the coaches train Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Like, we
Nick
don't need
Foles
Nick
isn't
Foles.
exactly the same type of quarterback.
Exactly. Like, we don't need Nick Foles back in Philadelphia. I'm not about it. Don't do it. I'm not about it. But that's all the news I have. Hopefully next week there isn't as much Eagles news to talk about unless something crazy. Maybe the trade happens by then.
I guarantee you we'll have that trade to talk about next week.
We'll
Probably
see.
have to make a video in the middle of the week about it.
I do have a bit of news that I have skipped over the past, I think, week or so that I keep forgetting about. It isn't Eagle news or anything. Bradley Beal is the sixth player in NBA history to score at least 25 points in each of his first 12 games of the season.
Damn. See, that's huge. Like, that's only 6 players ever to do that.
Yeah,
and
he's joining
they're
Rick Barry, Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain, Michael Jordan, and Jerry West.
Wow.
Elite company.
And Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal. And you got Bradley Beal up there, and he's balling on the Wizards, man. He's putting up a career year.
I hope he continues to have a great season.
I hope so too, man. But yeah, that's all I have as far as everything else.
Yeah, same.
You know, there's only one thing left to do.
Time for it.
The crazy sports stat fact of the podcast.
I was gonna look up a Super Bowl fact because we just had a Super Bowl. Then I remembered we had a bunch of Super Bowl facts last week, and I was like, I don't want to repeat a fact that we just said, or So I was like, okay, let me just see what Wyatt's got.
Let me see here. This is just a simple, short one. This is a baseball-related one. Sammy Sosa has 3 of the 8 60 home run seasons in baseball history.
Damn, that's like some Drew Brees shit. Like, you got like 4 of the 6 5,000-yard seasons or some BS like that. Like, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
3 of 8 60 home run seasons, man, belong to Sammy Sosa.
60 home run seasons. That's wild. Imagine, because I hear about 50. 50 is like huge. They like always.
This dude had 3 seasons where he hit just 60 of them, bro. Just knocking them out of the park.
God damn. Was he on steroids?
He might have been. Who knows at the time? Who knows? But that's all I have, man. That's the crazy sports stat. That's usually how we ended out here. But yeah.
One.